is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. One of the biggest stories this past offseason was Rekkles leaving Fnatic, going to G2, signing a 3-year deal. He is a very, very popular player. Fnatic's a popular team. G2's a popular team. That storyline really had everything. It had some drama, had some excitement. It was really, really crazy seeing such a big player go from Fnatic to one of Fnatic's rivals to hopefully one of the biggest and best teams in Europe, one of the biggest and best teams in the world. Fast forward, what are we, 9-10 months from then? Obviously things did not go well for G2, and I personally have been kind of saying that I thought G2 was going to build around Rekkles for the future, even though things didn't go that well this year, because they signed him to a 3-year deal. So they were obviously pretty confident in him last offseason, getting him locked up for the long term. And I said I didn't think it would make too much sense to move on from him after just 1 year. A lot of other people told me otherwise. I definitely had a lot of comments thinking that G2 still would move on from Rekkles. And it's looking more and more like I was wrong and y'all were right, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. A new potential landing spot popping up for Rekkles, a very, very interesting one, but this is not the only team in the mix. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm, if you want to help support my channel and my content just a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into this one. Again, Rekkles has been rumored. We talked about this already. There's a video on my channel. Rekkles has been rumored to be leaving G2. Again, we're not 100% sure if it's Rekkles being interested in leaving, if it's G2 interested in kicking him, selling him, or if it's a mutual agreement there, because that could definitely be possible. We don't know the exact specifics, but we do know that it is looking more and more likely each day, it seems, that G2 and Rekkles will be parting. They will be splitting, going their separate ways, that G2 will be selling him off and probably receiving a boatload of cash in return, because there are a lot of teams interested in this guy. He is a very, very good AD carry. You can argue how well you think he did on G2 this past season, but even 2020, just a year ago, he did so good at Worlds, him and Hylissang together. Even a Fnatic team that people didn't think was very good, he almost took them to the semifinals. He is a good player. He is class, but he is also very, very popular. Chinese fans love him. American fans love him. European fans love him. He has his fair share of haters as well. People don't like his playstyle. People don't like that he plays for KDA. People don't like that he plays slow and plays for late. People wish he was a little bit more aggressive. But he is, very polarizing, and he has definitely had results over the course of his career. The only thing is, he has not been able to really get many results, if much of any results at all, outside of Fnatic. Every time he's tried to leave Fnatic, this is now the second time, things have not gone so well. So there is some risk involved there, and obviously there is no talk of him returning to Fnatic. Obviously, with upset in the season he just had for Fnatic this year, they are definitely happy with what's going on over there. So the team we're going to be talking about today, this tweet comes from Applehead. He tweeted out, "We live in a reality where TSM Rekkles could not be a meme. Stay tuned for a bumpy ride ahead." Now, obviously, I had tweeted about this a little bit before, that as soon as it was announced that G2 might be moving on from Rekkles, I instantly thought that TSM would make sense as a landing spot. Obviously, TSM just had a rough season where they were good at times. They're not a bad team. They're right on the cusp. They're not a good team. I was very, very critical of them this whole season, even though they finished first place in the regular season of the LCS. They did not look good in the spring playoffs. They did not look good in the summer playoffs. And I'm honestly thankful that we are not seeing them at Worlds, because I think it would be very, very ugly. I think if they were the 3 seed, maybe they'd get out of play-ins, maybe not. And if they went to groups, I think this would be another 0-6 year. And, Lost doesn't deserve all the blame, but Lost was a very, very inconsistent player. I think he was bad in lane. At one point during the summer split, he had the 11th highest DPM in the league. He wasn't necessarily a good scaling AD carry. He wasn't necessarily a good AD carry in lane. He's not super young. He's been around the scene for a while, even though he hasn't been in the LCS specifically for very long. And TSM, obviously, they signed this FTX deal. Obviously, they have a little bit of money to throw around now. And one of TSM's main objectives as an organization, as a team, is to grow their brand internationally. They have been very, very vocal about this. So if they need an AD carry, if Power of Evil is projected to get his green card, so they're going to have an import slot open, and they want to level up and become a stronger team overall while also increasing their global brand, what better fit than TSM Rekkles. You know, it's everything that TSM is looking for. So I definitely can see how TSM would be interested in Rekkles, but is Rekkles going to be interested in TSM? That is what I was wondering right away, because he's been very, very vocal in the past of how much he wants to win Worlds. You know, he's won a bunch of domestic titles. He's had international success. He just hasn't gotten that international title yet. He's played in a World Final. He's gotten close, but he hasn't done it. And obviously TSM is very, very far away from a world championship. You know, maybe, you start adding players like Rekkles, you get a little bit closer for sure. You start getting, some of those pieces, but, they are very, very far away. But then I kind of start to look around, and there's not really an option where Rekkles is going to be competing for a world championship anytime soon. Maybe he can go to a new team and start building something up for the future. But like right now, is Mad Lions going to replace Carzzy with Rekkles? Like, I don't really think so. Rogue, are they going to replace Han Sama with Rekkles? And is Rogue that close to a world championship? I don't know. I don't think so. Fnatic is the other team going to Worlds for EU. That's not going to happen. You look over at the North American teams. Does anyone really consider a North American team that close to a world championship? I don't know. But obviously, maybe Cloud9, maybe Team Liquid. 100 Thieves, I don't think is going to replace FBI anytime soon. But Team Liquid is a potential option for Rekkles replacing Tactical. But I still think that is pretty unlikely as well. But maybe they'll throw their name in the ring. You don't have a lot of great North American or European options. There is rumors of potentially Rekkles going over to China, going over to the LPL, but still, even then, it's not like he's going to one of the best Chinese teams or anything. He'd probably be on a middle of the pack team at first before he has to prove himself. So if there's not really a clear team that's going to get Rekkles to that world championship right away, maybe TSM starts to become a little bit more realistic. But we do have some other people tweeting about this as well. Zers did tweet out that Rekkles to TSM would be huge for the org, the player, and branding, plus viewership for the LCS and many more. In short, it would be huge and possible. Again, at a time where the LCS is down in viewership, down in excitement, down in big popular players, Rekkles might be the perfect guy to come save TSM and come save the LCS, because there would definitely be a ton of European fans tuning in. I think it would be a big move. Cobalt also tweeted yesterday. He said, listen, all I'm saying is that TSM Rekkles is, in my opinion, from what I know, more probable than the field. So that starts getting a little bit more interesting. They also talk about here how back in the day, I think this was 2017, 2018, one of those years, where TSM, it was 2017, the end of 2017, when TSM kicked Doublelift and got Sven. Apparently, Rekkles actually wanted to go to TSM at that time. There's been other people talking about this as well. Rekkles was interested in going to that TSM team. They were seen as a very, very good team at that time, but TSM ended up going with Sven as well. So there has been some interest, Rekkles interest in TSM in the past. Obviously, a huge brand, a very, very popular team worldwide. Maybe it's something that could happen. Now, if this does end up happening, I would be so hyped. I would be so excited. I would love this. I am hoping for this so, so bad. But damn, it sucks if Rekkles comes to TSM and we don't get to see him play with Bjergsen. That would be the one thing that sucks. Also, I think if TSM got Rekkles, I think they would have to swap their mid lane. I don't really see a team of Power of Evil and Rekkles being successful. I think that is too slow of a team. I think that is too scaling of a team. I don't think that team would get anything done in the early game. So that would scare me a little bit. I don't know if he's the best fit for this roster right now. But I think if you ever have a chance as a North American team, as TSM, to get Rekkles, it doesn't matter if he's a perfect fit. It doesn't matter if it works out perfectly. You sign him to a long-term deal. You figure that out later. There is definitely, TSM is going to be interested in Rekkles. They're going to be reaching out to him. We will see if the money's right, if Rekkles' interest is there. We'll see how it compares to his other offers. But man, there is a world where in 2022 we could see TSM Rekkles, and that is so hyped to me. I'm so excited. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Where do you think Rekkles is going to be playing in 2022? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.